Hello, everybody. I got a little bit of reflection right here, don't I? It's coming off of the thing, but it's both that college football guy. Here another video. Let me go back a little bit so it doesn't hit my face. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Oh, as promised, we're talking about that expansion, aren't we? Well, I did the videos last week about the Pac-12. They're being silent. They've gone quiet. I did one about the Mountain West. Now, the problem is and the Pac-12, we've done that. Mountain West, we've done that. What about the other four conferences in the G6? What's the American situation? What's the Conference USA's? What's the MACs? What's the Sun Belts? How does this affect all of them? Well, the thing is, like I said, Pac-12 and Mountain West, apples and oranges. Pac-12 is going after its list. Mountain West is going after its list. Two separate groups. But the fact is it affects everybody else. So how does it work? How does it affect everybody? Well, we're going to go through everybody else. And also based upon who they've lost, who the expansion candidates replaced them would be. Because this all rolls downhill. And I'm not going to make Steven and some of my other MAC fans happy, but I got asked why is the MAC so attractive, everybody? I don't understand why. You don't know where the cities are, the teams are located, do you? The MAC is not a isolated little small market. There's reasons why everybody's where they're at. There's reasons for that. Athletically, academically, media-wise. There's a reason. Okay, we'll start off with the Americans. Like the Pac-12 is made inquiries. We know Tulane, Memphis, South Florida, UTSA. Here's the question I have to ask all of y'all. Make sure my count's not going too crazy on me. I don't want to run out of time here. This is going to be a fun one today. Did they formally receive invites, or was it just inquiries? I know Memphis made theirs. They didn't say they turned it down. I don't know if that was just an inquiry or a formal invite. I don't know. I'm thinking inquiry. About those schools. Is there anybody else in the American who they possibly would go after they couldn't get them? Could they go after potentially North Texas, who's in Denton, which is north of Fort Worth, which is a large media market? Would they potentially go there? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Those are the four, but if you need to get a couple of them and North Texas wants to go, I haven't heard anything about North Texas, so I honestly don't know if they're interested or not. Somebody brought up Army and Navy. Army and Navy are not interested in going anywhere right now. They're not going to go to the Pac-12. That's out. And the only autonomous conference I think might be remotely interested in them would be the ACC, and I don't think even they are. They're basically as good as they're going to get, pretty much, and they know that. Unless the conference implodes, they're not going anywhere. So you have 4 confirmed and a 5th outside candidate. Like we told, Tulane, Memphis, South Florida, UTSA are confirmed expansion candidates. Be taken up by the Pac-12. North Texas on the outside because of their media location. Who are they going to be looking to replace them with? Well, that depends on how many they lose. And I basically came up with the 4 candidates that most likely that have been linked to the American is that they lose schools. Who's going to take the spot? Who's it going to be? Well, James Madison, 3 from the Sun Belt, 1 from Conference USA. James Madison, Appalachian State, and Coastal Carolina. Some have said Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns, but it's not enough media value. Coastal Carolina, though, has a bigger name, has their Appalachian State and James Madison. I think are the candidates with Liberty from Conference USA being a possible candidate as well. Would Liberty want to go to the American? I honestly don't think they do. I think Liberty is in a situation where they want to establish themselves since they've just come up from FCS, establish what they can do, build their program up to a certain level, and then go somewhere else. But that's what I think for the Americans. So you could lose 4 schools out of this. North Texas is an outside shot if one of the other ones turns down, and there's 4 potential candidates to replace them. Now, we talked about the Sun Belt. Let's go to the Sun Belt. My list is all my notes here. We talked about those 4 schools leaving. There's also the 3 schools leaving. There's also another candidate who I forgot to mention, not on the list, is also an expansion candidate for the American. And that's Texas State. Texas State could possibly be on the Americans' radar if they lose UTSA. If they lose UTSA to the Pac-12, Texas State's in San Marcos near Austin, San Antonio, not that far apart. that would be an expansion replacement candidate, so that way the American has a share of that market again. If they lose UTSA. If they don't, they're not interested. Pac-12, they have not said they're formally interested in Texas State, but the fact is, if they made the offer, I think they'd go. I think they'd go. If the American made the offer, they'd have to lose UTSA first. So I don't know. This is an interesting situation. Now, the Sun Belt has James Madison, Coastal Carolina, Appalachian State, Texas State on the market. All being potential going. Who are they going to look to replace people with? Though right now, they might go after Liberty as well. If Liberty doesn't go to the American. I don't think Liberty would go to the American. Now, Liberty to the Sun Belt is a different story. And that, I think the only reason like Liberty would go to the Sun Belt is if App State, Coastal Carolina, and James Madison were gone. Because then I think they would feel they got a better shot. That came out of nowhere. They have a better shot at winning the conference. So they might make the jump to the Sun Belt if the top 3 schools are gone. They might make the jump. I think they want to stay in Conference USA for one more contract and then see where they're at in the 2030s when all this craziness happens. But they're a potential candidate for the Sun Belt. There's also Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee State. Now, which I find ironic, is being linked to being expansion candidates for the Sun Belt. Because living down here, I know the fact that Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee State left the Sun Belt to go to Conference USA in the first place because there was more money. How the situation has changed, hasn't it? But now they're looking at coming back. They could be potential candidates for the Sun Belt. Now, Western Kentucky was considered going to... My driver's waving at me. He's been circling around all day. Looking at Western Kentucky was looking at the MAC at one point, and there was a package deal with Middle Tennessee State. Everybody says it's a package deal between the two of them. They both have to go. Western Kentucky's not so sure about that, if the money is right. Middle Tennessee State wants to stay in the Southeast. So for them, the Sun Belt would be the option. If the American came calling with the money, they'd go, but I don't think they're on the Americans' radar. That's why I didn't list them as a candidate. But Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee State, if they lose 2 schools, they're on the list. They'd ask Liberty. I don't know if Liberty will go. Here's one candidate that's not being brought up. FIU. FIU, it's kind of funny that the Sun Belt Conference doesn't have a school in the Sunshine State, Florida. They don't have one. FIU's down by Miami in South Beach. Wearing their like Miami Vice uniforms they're wearing recently. Would that be an interesting ad for the Sun Belt to possibly go down to Florida and pick up FIU? That could be a situation there. Now we're going to get to the 2 that are on there. We're going to get to the... We're going to jump a little bit here, a little bit different. Conference USA next. Now we know the Conference USA has been affected because UTEP's already left. Sam Houston State, the inquiries were made. JY the Big Mountain Podcast just made a video about this, that San Jose State basically said they're not interested. Their facilities are not up where they need to be. They need to work on improving those and everything else and all the things to get at the FBS. They would like to stay in the Central and Eastern time zones, which fits Conference USA. And they actually said they want to help build Conference USA back up. But right now, they're not interested. 5-10 years from now, we'll see what happens. But right now, they're not interested. Wasn't a formal invite, it was just an inquiry. New Mexico State, the elephant in the room. Mexico State fans want to be in the Pac-12, want to be in the Mountain West. Somebody put up the inquiry put up to me as just when the video was mentioned, Mexico State should go to the Pac-12. Pac-12's not taking Mexico State. I'm sorry. Las Cruces, UTEP is not big enough media market for them. A lot of things will have gone wrong. You guys would be like Sacramento State's the dead last option. You might be the next to last option. I'm going to be honest here. UTEP in Texas, UTEP Las Cruces are part of the same media market. You already have one. Where the media company wants you to double dip in the same market. Some conferences do double dip in the same media market. Would they want you to? Would they want the Mountain West to do that? I don't know. Western Kentucky, I just brought them up as being Middle Tennessee State. I brought up as in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. They're not interested, even though they're just outside of Nashville. It's a good media market. Western Kentucky's in Bowling Green, Kentucky, which is the 182nd largest media market. It's only got 79,000 residents. It's not that big of a town. Or viewers. It's not that... It's... Media-wise, has not that much value, but the Sun Belt's looking for a different aspect to this. Mountain West is in a different animal here. That's why they're more down there. Louisiana Tech. I brought them up as a candidate. They're in Ruston, Louisiana. It is a very small thing. They're share the same media market with Monroe, and it's not that big. With UO Monroe, and it's not in Monroe, Louisiana. It's not that big of a media market. 22,000. It's not that big. Football-wise, they're a great winning program. But I think they'd be an outside shot for the Mountain West to get as an expansion candidate. And these are the schools they could lose. Everybody else, I think, is off the books. Now, who... I think Liberty's a candidate for the Sun Belt, possibly AAC. I mentioned Mr. Tennessee State and FIU. Who are they going to go to add? Conference USA is going to be looking at FCS because that's where they're going to have to go. And that right now, they said they're on pause for right now. Is that because of the House settlement or whatnot? We don't know. They wanted to get the conference back to 14. That was the whole thing. They've been working toward it. Get the conference to 14. 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 You've heard that nonstop. Now, guess what? Now they don't want to do it? We'll be happy with 10. Somebody told them. Somebody said, oh, they were gung-ho to get back to 14. That's why they've been adding all these FCS schools. All of a sudden, with the lawsuit popping off, they got told we'd be happy if we went down to 10. We can handle that. That's what the statement was coming from Conference USA. What changed? The House lawsuit. He said it's not going to affect anything. Yeah, it is. Whether it's legal or not, I don't know. But if they want to put a hold on all FCS coming up until the lawsuit's resolved, that way the new penalties that FCS schools would have to pay coming up would be clarified, because they may change the fee again, and the NCAA may be the one doing it. Possibly. We'll see. Now, the MAC. We all know about Toledo, who was given an initial inquiries. I'm trying the best way to say this. Initial inquiries were made for Toledo and NIU for them joining the conference as a football-only member of the Mountain West. Toledo's cooled on the idea. It's gone very quiet. NIU's very interested. I've been hearing the same thing a lot of people out of the DeKalb is that they are looking for a possible home for their Olympic sports. If they can find one that fits into where they want to do, they would be interested in becoming a football-only member. I think they may pass that on, and then an invitation be made. Right now, it's just inquiries. Nobody else has been made inquiries of. Well, this is where the part that Stephen and the other MAC fans not going to like. I'm going to go through every university in the MAC and why there is what, and would any of these other schools be candidates for anybody else? Now, nobody from the MAC's going to Conference USA. Nobody from the MAC's going to the Sun Belt. Would any of these MAC schools be a consideration for the American down the road? I doubt it. So that leaves one thing. Would the Mountain West be interested in any of these schools as football-only members? So I'm going to run through the list of everybody. The one who's actually in the safest position to not get poached, ironically, is Stephens, Ohio, which is in Athens, Ohio. It's kind of... Ohio is in a very unique spot in the state. It's kind of got three media markets around it. They're like the triangle. We have the four corners. Well, this is like the triangle. And it's three media markets that technically kind of reach into the area around Athens. We're talking Columbus, Ohio, the Zanesville market, which is eastern Ohio. Columbus is kind of eastern Ohio. And Huntington, West Virginia, I believe. This is all in the area. So it's not on there. They have a tradition of winning. Would they be interested in it? Travel would be an interesting part to get to it, so I don't know if they'd want to do that. Miami of Ohio, which is in Miami, Ohio, which is northwest of Cincinnati, which is actually where I'm at right now, in a drop lot. It's, Miami, Ohio is it's north of Cincinnati, kind of near the Indiana border. You fly into Cincinnati and take a drive over there. It's not that far. Would that be a consideration for a candidate? They've had a winning program. They won the MAC last year. See, Toledo and NIU are candidates. The thing is, we don't know if anybody else from the MAC's got reached out to. We don't know if NIU, somebody who's a excuse me, a donor, booster, whatever the heck you want to call it. I'm going to call them. Remember the collective, whatever. That reached out to some other people from other universities to find out if there was any interest backhanded before the formal inquiries are even made. Because that happens all the time, okay? We know that. So, would they be interested? I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. Let's talk about Bowling Green. Toledo turned down Ohio. Bowling Green's in Bowling Green, Ohio, which is part of the Toledo media market, right down the road, I-75. So, if they're interested in doing that, would they do Bowling Green? I don't think so, but that's a possible consideration. I'm going to go here. Akron and Kent State. Akron's obviously in Akron, Ohio, and Kent State's in Kent, Ohio. Akron is formerly part of the Cleveland-Akron media market, which is the 19th biggest in the country. It's eastern Ohio, near Pennsylvania. Would they want to go that far? I don't know. Kent State, Kent is on the outskirts, but is it part of that media market? So they'd be out for consideration as well. So I don't know if they'd want to do that, but that's a possibility. Ball State, which is located in Muncie, Indiana, which is actually technically part of the Indianapolis media market. You've got Illinois. Would you want to go to Ball State, fly Indianapolis, and do Ball State, who's right there? Would that be a consideration? Possibly. Then we got the rest of the schools in the state are the directional universities, Western, Central, and Eastern Michigan. Western Michigan is in Kalamazoo, which is part of the Grand Rapids, Battle Creek, Kalamazoo media market, 43rd biggest in the country. Grand Rapids. You know where that is? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to see if y'all figure this one out. But, yeah, it's basically Western Michigan. Hence the term Western Michigan, all three of them. It's a decent-sized media market. I mean, but it's not. Would they be willing to go to that one? I don't know about that one. Central Michigan is in Mount Pleasant, which is near Flint, Saginaw, that area part of the state. It's the 74th biggest media market. Would they want to go there? I don't know. Eastern Michigan. This is the one I know where is at It's in Ypsilanti. I've made plenty of deliveries to Ypsilanti before, and still do. Ypsilanti is right near Ann Arbor, which is part of the Detroit media market. Which is a very big media market. Ann Arbor's no slouch either. So, would that be a consideration? So you have all of these universities, and of course Buffalo is in Buffalo, New York. 1.3 million people in the city. It's the 53rd largest media market, 54th largest media market, excuse me. I don't think they're going to go that far east. I mean, albeit there'll be straight flights in because it's a major city. But I don't know if they want to do that. But these are the schools on there that are, every single one is there for, you notice, you start looking at the media markets, you're like, everybody's there for a reason. So there's value. So the MAC loses schools, like NIU apparently leaves. Where are they going to go? Well, they brought in UMass to come in as a 13th member. They lose NIU, they just lose just one, they drop down to 12. Well, say they lose more or they want to add more. What are they going to pick? They're going to probably go FCS. And their top two candidates, once they get the $2.5 million contract, I think their top two candidates are going to be North Dakota State and South Dakota State. I think that's where NDSU and SDSU are going to go. Because having that amount of money, $2 to $2.5 million, that's going to be the move, I think. So having that, that would give the MAC some, North Dakota State, Central Michigan travels lesson. It's kind of like the Missouri Valley Football Conference. I think that would be potentially where, if North Dakota State, South Dakota State go up to any conference, I think the MAC's the one they're going to pick. But I could be wrong. But that's been my little roundup here about everything in the G6 and about how, I don't know as we talked that long, almost 20 minutes, about how everything's going to go here. there's a lot of options for a lot of places. Like Conference USA is kind of stuck FCS. The MAC, I mean, the MACs could be the MAC. I forgot to mention MAC. I still think they should make the pitch. Why not try to see if you can get UConn for football only? They're already in the Big East. So you can get UConn football only in the conference. Why not? So you guys can make some money. At least maybe you're a loss leader because of your football stadium. Maybe the membership or the media deal from the MAC will be at least be enough to pay off the lease on your stadium. Cut the expenses a little bit. And travel would be less. So just a thought. But I think UConn for the MAC, I think, would be a good idea for football only. But I honestly don't know. It's getting crazy in the drop yard. I don't think I can cut this video here. It's getting nuts. So thanks everybody for watching this video about what the future of the other members of the G6 are. If you haven't done it already, do me the favor, smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps the algorithm of the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. Got a lot of stuff here about trying to see if I left off anything. No, I got it all. But let me know what you think about all of it down in the comments. Some of those MAC schools are not going to like the fact that everybody's going to know what they have. Share the video if you want to. If you haven't done already, check out some of the other videos I've done. If you like them, hey, subscribe to the channel. You know, got a dog next door barking at me. Make sure you're still subscribed. Make sure you hit the notifications bell. Make sure you let you know when I post a video. Try to post as many as I can, but with this hectic schedule, who knows? If you want to follow me on Twitter or on X, the link will be in the description. So thanks everybody for watching. I got asked to do in the comments the previous one about the coaching carousel because we've already had moves, and I got one planned for a couple of days from now about that one. That'll be relatively short because we're going to have a little bit of move. And are they going to make any moves right now? No. This is all going to be internal promotion, but will those jobs get filled by other candidates later? Yes. But the fact is, every single one who has those opening spots, their interim coordinator or head coach is auditioning for the job. So we're going to see how this goes. So check out all that. Let me know what you think. So thanks everybody for watching. Everybody's having a great Tuesday. As he just slams in the truck. That's really fun. That's something I forgot about. Well, we'll find out about later. So thanks everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Be safe and please be good to each other.